Hi, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've recorded a video, and I'll get into why and what's been transpiring for the last couple of months. But right now, I want to talk about something to help anyone who's going through a period where they're in the liminal space, anyone who has experienced tremendous loss recently. And just to speak from my own personal situation this year in 2026 alone, I have experienced so much loss. Like what I have gone through this year would have sent the majority of people into depression or rehab or something worse. But instead of spiraling or having, any major just collapses or depressive, manic episodes, I've been pretty chill, pretty calm. And there's a couple of reasons for that. And I want to talk a little bit about that and then offer you something that you can do yourself to build what I have stabilized in my system. But first I want to say that all of us have been trained and conditioned for lack. Okay. So if you lose your job, if you lose your source of income, then immediately the brain goes into survival and scarcity mindset. But what if God or the universe pulls things away from you, relationships, money, anything in your life that you are gripping onto? Anything in your life, especially if it's a material thing, but even if it's a person or a group of people or a place that you live, the house, apartment, your flat. What if those things are taken away from you because they are not a match for who you are anymore? What if God and the universe wants to give you something so much better that's going to make you feel 38 times better? Like it's going to expand your world in such a way that the old stuff had to be taken away from you. So if your brain was wired, if we were trained to see those things that way, then you would actually get excited when something like that happens. And imagine that's actually the truth. That is how it works. So how do you go from feeling fearful and sad and upset and and really scared about your life, your well-being, and maybe your families as well? You stabilize on the inside. You stabilize the internal systems. And this isn't woo-woo, and I want to kind of get into the neurochemical aspects of this. But what happens when you stabilize your system, when you signal safety inside, then the outside world, your outside reality will match what you're doing on the inside with your body and your mind. Okay. And to tell you what happened with me, I had a multi-six-figure marketing business. It got completely burned down this year. I had business partners that betrayed me. I had, a client kind of stab me in the back. I had another colleague with another client go behind my back and kind of, manipulate a situation. So I lost another big client. And then I moved to another country for love while the marketing business was crashing, and I thought I would start a new life, and that if while I was building the coaching business, I invested so much in my coaching business, and the return didn't start coming immediately. So I was at ground zero. I was homeless. I had no money, no income. And I was doing all the things, applying to jobs for 6 months. I'm someone who's had a job at least 2 jobs since I was 14 years old. Making money and finding opportunities for myself has never been an issue for me. But for some reason it was now. And so I looked at everything and I thought, this is really interesting, right? Like, I'm clearly being blocked in these areas. Like, that is the pattern here. I can see this very clearly. Because I know myself, I know what I'm good at. I know I'm very good at finding work and making money. And it's just not happening right now. So I'm going to look at this for a minute. and I'm going to come back into myself. And I'm going to keep stabilizing serenity, tranquility, bliss, trust, patience. And I'm going to really look at what I'm being shown. What am I being asked to do? Where am I being asked to move in my life that I haven't moved yet? What am I not doing that the universe is pushing me? It's pushing me into this level of discomfort and an unknown for a reason. I know this because I've gone through this alchemical process so many times that I don't have freakouts anymore because I know the pattern. Every time something is stripped away from me, it's just preparing me for the next level. The last time it happened to me was 2020. I lost my job. I actually got the biggest job opportunity of my life in March of 2020, right before actually, it was while the world was really shutting down, and everyone in my family told me I was crazy. You have to take this job, blah, blah, blah. And it didn't feel good for me. Something about it just was like, no. And I also was, again, moving somewhere for love. And I don't regret it for a second. And so in any case, during that time period, I was so stressed. But I was also in my hometown, spending time with my best friends, laughing so much, going to the beach every day. I was running and exercising. I was extremely healthy. And then I went to Ohio and reconnected with family for 3 weeks that we hadn't seen in years. And then I mind you, at the time I was getting a government check, right? Those the unemployment, the stimulus checks that we got in the US here in 2020. And I even got to go to Colorado and go on a big hiking trip. It was that was all about connection to nature, to self, to family. And then what happened is I got a job. At the end of the summer, I moved back into my gorgeous beach house in Rhode Island. And then 6 months later, started one of the best chapters of my entire life. And that is traveling, going to these beautiful remote places in Europe to surf and snowboard. And that time just completely lit up my life. And that's because I honored who I am. But that was a messy time for me as well. So I didn't handle it well when it was happening. I was really resistant. I was really fighting it. And this time I'm doing it differently. So I developed a system that connects the womb, the heart, and the brain. So many people focus on the brain, but actually a lot of our emotions are stored in our womb. Emotions that we inherited from our mother, emotions that she inherited from her father, and so forth. And it goes down the line. That is epigenetics, okay? And that's all passed down until you deal with it. It's what was the emotional and spiritual body of your own parents while you were conceived, while your mother was pregnant with you, and back down the line. So that is where the activation really begins. When you want to get your system, your body in coherence, you start in the womb, okay? And then your heart space. Your heart is actually the most powerful organ in the body. Like, so many people really harp on the brain and the mind and neuroscience, and that's crucial too. We are neurochemical beings, so you must activate the mind and the physical brain as well, but in tandem with these other two systems to get that whole body coherence. So that is what I have been doing and reinforcing for the last 4 months. And where I am right now, I am in a mansion in South Florida. I am on the beach. I have a pool. I have been working out every single day. It's actually not wicked hot. It's been pretty cool. Like, I'm, 80 degrees. What is that in Celsius? 50, around 50 Celsius. And I'm living here for free. This environment is where my system comes to life. I get downloads. I channel messages from God. This is the perfect environment for me. Okay. And I still have a lot of unknown, but I've also had all of these other very low cost, free coaching opportunities come in. I am building my new business. I am building my life again from scratch. And I have no fear. I am so incredibly grateful and stoked for what's about to happen. What has already happened since I've been here is I received information about what my divine calling is, what I am supposed to do. And that is to teach people how to unite, how to be the sacred union within yourself, to attract and to magnetize your kingdom spouse. So I'm going to record another episode about that. But regardless, if that's something that is on your soul's journey in this incarnation or not, when you learn how to stabilize the energies within your human body, you enable yourself to be the most powerful version of you, period. It does not matter what's going on around you. So, what I want to offer you now is I created a free meditation. And what it does is it activates all of these three systems that I talk about: womb, heart, mind, brain. And men have a womb space as well. This is not just women. It's, people talk about, and think about it too. I just want to add this, the gut brain health thing. So that's more clinical, but this is also like mystical and the physical womb space, the container, your abdomen. There's energy, ancestral energy there that has been passed down. And it's not just in your DNA, it's in your cells. It's at the cellular level. So we have to activate these systems and clear them out and get them all online. And when you do them in tandem with the three all together, then you have a full system activation. So this meditation is for a person who is experiencing chaos and loss. It's also for a person who wants to 10x their life. If you want to be the most powerful version of yourself, you have got to master yourself. So this is self-mastery. Inner union, sacred union within yourself is self-mastery. And I'm so excited to offer my meditation for you. I have another guide that you can download in tandem with this. Right now, I've only priced it at $11 because I've tested it on myself and I know that it works. And I've tested it on 5 others. I'm being totally transparent and I'm getting raving reviews from people, but I'm keeping it super low right now because I want to see more results. I want to see this work for more and more people. And so I want it to be low ticket and really accessible right now. So I'm going to link the meditation and the guide in the notes from this. But thank you so much if you made it this far. Thanks for watching. And it feels like I'm going to be creating more videos again. I kind of went through something where I emotionally was a little bit drained and I'm starting to come back online now. So I'm excited to get back into teaching and talking about these things in more depth. So thank you again and see you soon.